All right, so the thing right now is that I have been motivated and I had to change my recording software for filming these clips. Um, when I talked to you yesterday, there had been some mix up with the software that I usually have called Camera in within Windows 10 itself. There was a problem there, and what happens is that for some strange reason, this software thinks that I'm running low on battery, even though I am connected to a charger constantly since I bought the new charger. The other one broke down for some reason. So what I've been doing is having to record it with another free 2x software webcam recorder. And as you have noticed, when I do clips with that software, I have some problems because the movement in the motion picture is somewhat off and not in sync with the sound. So it's irritating because I'm very, animating a little bit here and a little bit there. And what happens is that these movements come after I have actually said those words. So that was it was strange for me. So this is why I think when we discuss games, I think it's important to discuss games from a certain point of view. And now it's 9 in the morning, so I will go to work later because I've been off work for a couple of days. And I always have this stay power with the hobby of gaming that you need. It infuses some zeitgeist, some creativity, and it's a form of relaxation to get away from different kind of problems like health issues that I have. But as I said, it's been a really long while since I could really sit down and do slick shifts from different games and different genres and not feel like I was getting so frustrated I needed to give up all the time. And I have been playing 4 games uh, during one day. Some of them a bit on and off, and some of them just for a wee while to get a change of scenery, because the hobby means so much to people in many different ways. For me, it's not. For me, I don't have the aim to complete all levels in a game or sort out every single challenge on the way you walk on the levels and experience things. It's the actual experience of just being there, of being in the moment, playing, feeling atmospheres, and those things are very much more important to me. So much more that it's actually difficult to find words to explain what it's actually about, because it's to be in the moment. It's the carefree nature, but also sometimes the demand from the designing schemes of the games that you need to be strategic, you need to contemplate um, your way of doing things, and you can't always just have a run for it. It's different in that sense that what happens is you have to do you have to you can't always do everything on your own terms, but you can learn how to adjust to a change of scenery in a way which is good for you when you need to move on from things such as what happens with anxiety disorder, and then living with this bipolar disorder getting worse with the years from when I was 20 and on. I haven't really been able to sit down and feel that I could play in a worry-free way for a very long time. Sometimes I got too intense and played a long time during one day of the weekend. So here I was finding the perfect balance in the playing the games just for the fun experience, and to keep on going here and there, regardless if I was planning to win the entire game or not. And I haven't really mentioned many of these games before because they're in my collection. Some of them are newer and some of them are I've had them for a while, but I haven't really discussed them with anyone within this community yet. But I started, so to speak, with the newest game on the list, um, Nimpen Minmaro, Manmaro, Nimpen Minmaro, and it has been such a great game for me, and it's been like SEGA Saturn all the way now for this weekend that have passed, because I mean, to get into it, you have to focus in a delicate way, because if you run too fast and miss your jumps, this happens because you need to stay in focus all the time. And then again, you can't wait too long to jump, because then you will miss a jump, you will fall down. But if you jump too early, you won't even reach the platform that you're heading for. And the focus is on jumping on platforms. So it's a literal uh, platformer game, 3D platformer. But it also has the timing issue is important in the strategic way of knowing if this is the right way to go or not, to try to uh, make a quick run through in your head if this is the right way to go before you go there, because you're timed. So but it's a very happy-go-lucky atmosphere, and even though I felt a bit nervous when I feel 10 minutes ticking down like that, when you feel you know, it's not a hard game to get into, and the gaming mechanics are pretty basic. So therefore, when one finishes two levels the first time playing, and then the next day or the next time later in the evening playing the game with a relaxed sense in how to do it, a relaxed state of mind. This makes you feel that you're always doing progress, because I last time I made it to level 4 or 5, something in between there, and I'm feeling like when I learn to be in control and not stressing myself out or adding pressure to the environment, then in a state of mind where I feel good. Um, this is a very feel good kind of game. The feel good uh, atmosphere is what you feel around yourself everywhere. So I think it's a great game, even though it can get irritating if you mistime a jump for like 10th time and you need to go down on the ground again and go up to find the platform where you actually was. But it's if you are ready to go into that knowing that there was some difficulty involved in the level design, the basic idea is not difficult. So I mean, for me, I learned how to manage to go on and not think so much about it, even though the timing aspect is a little bit puts you under pressure. But I like the way that you hide away from enemies and you try to get around them. You're not really into washing anyone or crushing anyone, and that's really interesting for being a ninja penguin game. I think this guy even has a sword on his back carrying, but then again, you never use that. I picked on a rock earlier, like or a big stone rock. I don't know, a big stone, and that was interesting for me because I wasn't expecting that function because nobody told me about it. It's like when you see this is a Japanese import, Japan only, so I don't really have the skills to read the manual. But it doesn't really matter here. It's an easygoing game. It's just that you need to enhance your sense of timing as you go by and you go on and you progress through the levels. I mean, the levels that took for me the first time, half of the rundown ran down when the clock ran down to 5 minutes or 4 minutes, 3 minutes, and it took all that time to complete the first and second level. Those two levels were when I had to complete them over again. Second time playing in the evening when I was more relaxed, I finished those two levels in like 2 minutes a piece. So the only problem right now is that I haven't been finding anything that leads me on to knowing how I should save game. But maybe I must complete the entire world to be able to save games like it is on Poxy. I'm not so sure. But for Poxy, for the Mega CD, it's like that. You can save, but not just every level. Um, and if you remember Boogerman, when you play Boogerman on the Mega Drive, you don't get a new password unless you have got them past the boss of the world, and every world is 4 levels. So sometimes you have to be patient. I have completed 4.5 level because I once encountered a boss challenge in this game too. But I only had one continue, so there wasn't really much to be doing when I lost, and I couldn't go on playing in the afternoon or forenoon afternoon to start on going on and on just after I had been playing so much. I've been very focusing a lot with playing the first levels. I did not feel like doing them all over again. But it's a very good game, Ninja Penguin. I'm very glad I have it in my selection of games. All right. What is there to be told about um this game, Sonic Jam? I'm not talking about the adjusted version of the side scrollers with which I don't know if it is the entire if it's a Saturn version of the games or if it's the original games. I know that you can toggle off the level design to not have the additional elements to them, but I don't know if it is exactly a conversion of the original cartridge-based games. But I got this to be able to sell the Sonic games I had in the forward platformer genre. That was Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. Um, to be honest, I'm not really in for it because of those games. I'm into it because of the Sonic World segment, which is the feel of it is similar to the Ninja Penguin game. You get the time you get into a situation where if you push a button or jump on a platform, which is a button, you activate the mission mode in Sonic World, and it says pick up 20 rings in 1 minute, hit 20 checkpoints, no, 20, 33, three checkpoints in one, then it will advance into picking up 50 rings and so on. So the thing is that I like that kind of platform puzzle, free roaming. It was a free roaming environment. It's like going around when you're Elliot in Frozen Bell. Because that the gameplay there is pretty similar because you pick up, you run, and you jump. I think that this segment is so enjoyable because there is no pressure involved at all. I mean, yeah, you have only 1 minute, but if you don't manage to go mission accomplished straight away, you go over again and you go over again, and it's just the feel good atmosphere, just like with this Penguin Ninja game. It is so obvious that this is an environment where you can, the surrounding is nice. The jumping mechanics are simple. It's very straightforward. Um, it's full of splendor. It's lovely to play Sonic World in a way that I think people just overlook it because they think it's just a scenery for the Sonic Museum where you can watch trailers and read about collectibles and things like that and promotion of games. But that's not that's not the only thing. I'm still in the picking 50 rings up now, and I haven't been able to do it. But I felt very happy being able to shift from one game genre to another to just sit and play it for like a 20 minutes or half an hour because it's easygoing. It was easygoing gameplay, and I like that in a game. I like Sonic World because it's not about bashing enemies or being dashing through from one side to the other. It's it's a very miniature world. I mean, it's a small world, not miniature, but it's a small world compared to what is involved in Sonic 3D. But the look and the feel of it is still that you have an explorer's curiosity involved into when you play these actual games, and last just yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And then we have to go into the area of what I was playing for a while after I finished playing Ninja Penguin. And this is a 2D side scroller, you think? That's what it looks like. But it's an adventure game with lots of exploration and lots of um, adventure features that you don't really think about. If you engage baddies and other enemies, the thing you have to do is that you get experience points and you develop your character as you go, and then you have to apply magic spells, pick up weaponry from the people you have defeated, and you develop all the time. For me, it has been both an easy and a simple game because there are some aspects of the games that are very straightforward. There is no problem. But then again, you have to think: have I been in this room before? Should I really go into this battle with this guy or no? Yes or no? It's important to discuss those kinds of things. And I just went in for a round when I dropped the Ninja Penguin game off. I just went in for a round, and I'm in a difficult space where I don't have the weaponry I would prefer to have, and I'm in areas where people are using. I mean, the baddies I'm facing are using advanced weaponry, so I died pretty fast. But I just felt to go to able to switch from Ninja Penguin, to switch from that to this was a genius stroke for me because I felt that it was just what I had to do. And it's a really good game, but actually you need to keep more attention on where you want to go and how to get there when you play this game. So you can't really go fast rounds in the true sense where, but I just needed to get things off my mind and wanted to change of scenery. So I went to this game because I like it so much. It's one of the hardest games I ever tried also, but like to get into the world, that yeah, it's something really special. And then again, I have to tell you about this thing. I've been playing this game twice yesterday. As I told you from my first experience, it's one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had. It's a flight simulator kind of game, um, and there are many things offered in this game. And for me, it was just the carefree flow of flying around. That was uh, top experience number one because I didn't even know what directions to head at during that time, and I was learning. Oh, that's the step on the gas button. I have to use that in a spare way and take care what I'm doing. Care what I'm doing because it's a bit tricky. It is a tricky game. I was playing it both morning and afternoon, and I really love the game. Still, I'm only at the first. I'm still at the first mission because what happens to me is that when I actually could locate the mothership you're about to head, yeah, I actually read the manual there. What you think about when you start a game like that is it's a great game because you feel so free when you have no no time aspect into it, no enemies after you, and the challenge is to learn how to the left flight controllers say that's the actual point of that level. So when I found the mothership for the first time, I have I really had trouble to navigate into, it has a hangar that you need to land. You need to enter the hangar that is built in the mothership, and you need to go straight forward. You can't miss this way. But then but that really got me quite frustrated because it's a delicate matter. When I got a little bit too high, I missed the entrance, and I ended up in a foggy area with clouds, and I lost track of where is the mothership again. I lost track of it, even though I tried to fly my coordinates and what the points were there were some arrows indicating turn now or so, but it's hard to figure out exactly how to keep in line to board or to dock with the mothership again. So that was a really big sense of frustration for me, but I still kept on going for a while and tried numerous times to do the same thing. And even though I can agree that it's hard, because it is hard, even though this is the factual reality, it's a very nice, the atmosphere is nice, and you don't even have to push the step on the gas button too many times. You can float around in a gentle manner if you want. It's just when you need to catch up with the mothership, you need to keep on going, and you need to do it faster. And that's why it's hard to, when it's a delicate matter of navigation, that you can miss the ship if you go too high or too low. If the object is to enter the hangar of the mothership, then you need to be doing it. And if you miss, it's hard for you to turn back and find where you were, because the foggy environment, because of the clouds, and that is difficult for you. I mean, it was difficult for me, so it will probably be difficult for you as well. But then again, you may be more into the flight simulating gameplay. I don't know. Anyway, that was a great evening yesterday with all these games, and I did not get frustrated too much, and this is why I could keep on going. So that's 4 different games, and I liked all of them, and especially going into a game like Sonic Jam that I haven't been touching for a really long time was interesting, because I'm comfortable in that Sonic World environment. So that was what I was focusing on, just to sit back and relax and play. And that's what I did. And that's what you have been hearing about right now. Take care and have a